This is our very first video on object-oriented programming, and I wanted to start out with something short and sweet just to show you how easy object-oriented programming can be and the idea really is. We are going to get into more depth and a lot more details and things like that. I have a whole PowerPoint I want to walk you through and lots of detailed examples including UML diagrams. But before we do all of that, I really want to start you out with something simple. If you took me for 111, we made Java main classes for the entirety of the semester. Apart from the final week, I kind of walked you through objects a tiny bit. But what we're going to do today is a little bit different. We're going to hit Java class, so not main class, you want Java class. So we're going to do this, and we're going to call this anything you would like. So I've done this in a couple of classes before, and I usually ask students, right now there's no students around, but I usually ask students, tell me a random word. Any random word you can come up with, keep it PG, but any random word you can dream up with, we can make an object or a class of that. So some examples I've had before, I remember one semester someone said baloney, so let's start with baloney. Baloney has a weird spelling, I believe this is it. So I'm making a baloney class, and remember that is Java class, not main class. I'm going to press finish. The first thing you're going to notice about this class, besides the name baloney, is that there's no main method. And when there's no main method, when I run this program, it says there's no main method. How do you expect to run this? Well, of course, we can't run this if there's no main, right? So we're going to now create another class. I'm going to press File, Java main class this time, and I'm going to call this example demo. Example demo. Let me clean up my code right here out of all the templates. So here's my example demo, and here's my baloney class. Example demo, of course, is completely blank besides the main method. It does run, and I have baloney over here, which doesn't even have a main method. It's completely blank and does not run. What I want to do is I want to connect these two files together, and how many times have we done that? Probably ever since week 2 of CIT 111, you have made a scanner scan equals new scanner system.in. Right, when you do this, what you're doing is you're creating a scanner object. I've told you this before, again, if you had me for 111, I talk about it a lot. I throw around the word object, but it's kind of hard to teach when you're learning about if statements and loops and all the basics. I can't say, hey, this is what an object is. But an object means, when I type scan and press period, I get access to all of these things from the scanner class. The scanner, the thing you have been using all along, is an object. It's a class that exists. Someone has made it, and we're accessing it. When we access that scan, we are able to read and use all of its methods. That's exactly what these are. And we can do the exact same thing with our baloney class. Although baloney is blank right now, because it exists within the same package, that is important, make sure it's in the same package, I could go ahead and I could make a baloney b equals new baloney, just like this, and there's no red line, which is really strange, right? Scanner scan equals new scanner, baloney b equals new baloney. I've made a baloney class. Because I have a class called baloney, and it exists within the same package, I'm able to make a class of an object of that class. So now when I type b, which is my baloney object, just like scan is my scanner object, and press period, I get access to everything baloney can do. Not much, but I could come back over to baloney, and I could say something like public void dance. For whatever reason, we can have a dancing baloney, and I'll do it like this. So I have this void method called dance in my baloney class. Still doesn't run because there's no main in here. But now, back in example demo, baloney b, when I type b and press period, it has access to all of the methods of that class, just like the scanner has access to nextInt and nextDouble and all of those things. One of the things it has access to, the bold method here, is the one I created, dance. So when I run this, it says dancing. And that's because my example demo class contains the main. I created a baloney object through the reference of b. So whenever I type in b and press period, I get access to all of those methods. So I could create another one and just say public void another one, that does something, it doesn't matter what, but now I have access to that method as well. And this is how you've been accessing the scanner for a few months in 111 or whatever class you took before this, or your prior knowledge. This is how objects work, how we can connect multiple files together. It is the basic structure of object-oriented programming. We will get more into the how, why, what, if, when, all that stuff. We will. But just to wrap this up real quick, I want to show you another example. So we could really just pull anything out. I remember someone in a class said, my random word is Mickey Mouse. So I could create a Mickey Mouse class. Remember to make it a class, not a main class. Only one of your classes should have a main method. And I could make a public void method here called Mickey Dance, dancing mouse. And now over an example demo, I could create another object. So I could say Mickey Mouse, mm equals new Mickey Mouse. And now has access to that method I just created here, dancing mouse. So in about 5 minutes, we created 3 programs that all work and communicate together, and we can leverage the other 2 classes through our main class through the use of objects and reference variables, which again, we will get much more into shortly. But this is as easy as it is to create an object. Class name, give it a variable name, equals new class name. Class name, variable name, equals new class name. Just like scanner scan equals new scanner, baloney b equals new baloney, Mickey Mouse equals new Mickey Mouse. Pretty simple, but yet very powerful. So in the next video, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the PowerPoint before we really dive headfirst into object-oriented programming, or OOP.